Okay, we've been joined by Dayton. Our format will be an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll take questions for the players. Once we are done with questions for the players, they'll be dismissed, and the locker room will be open. We'll stay with Archie. So, Coach.
Well, first, it's great to be back. For these guys, their fourth year in a row, and to be in Indy and to play in this facility with the other teams that are participating here, it's really, really exciting, and we're really excited to get started. Wichita State is a fantastic team, and we have our work cut out for us, but at this time of year, I think everybody pretty much anticipates everything being hard-earned. So we prepared hard, and we're excited to be here.
Okay, questions for the players, and raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. It's going to be here we go.
I'll start with Scooch. Do you feel like you guys, after a long grind all season, an A-10 tournament, and now coming here, is this a chance to hit the reset button?
Question for Scoochie.
Yeah, for sure. This is one of our goals that we want to accomplish coming into the season, and just to make it this far is a blessing. And, we want to put it all out there on the court starting tomorrow night.
Raise your hands, please. Right here.
Jerry Tipton, Lexington Herald Leader. For any of the players, the past experience you've had in playing in the NCAA tournament, how do you think that can help?
Kendall, we'll start with you.
Experience in an NCAA tournament is terrific to have. All of us has played in the tournament, and we'll try to go out there and share some of our leadership with our teammates.
Scoochie?
Just being a strong-minded group of guys and being together, I think it'll go a long way. And all of us here have won games in the NCAA tournament, and we know what it takes to win. So just having that, I think we'll be fine.
Charles?
Just what School said, just knowing what it takes to win at this time of the year. It's tough to win games, so just got to go out there and play hard and do what we do best and do what we've been doing all year.
Kyle?
I think just being able to lead the team. We have experience from the upperclassmen, just teaching the lowerclassmen how to step up and be ready to play in, big-time moments.
Questions, please. Right here.
Yeah. For Scoochie and Kendall, how does some of the wars you have with Rhode Island and VCU and some of the other top teams in your league prepare you think, for the kind of battle you might have at Wichita State?
Kendall, we'll start with you.
Well, those two teams you mentioned, they're very physical. They rebound the ball, and Wichita State is the same way. So we'll go in there and be tough-minded and rebound the ball, rolled up with them.
Scoochie?
Just watching film on Wichita State, you put two teams like Rhode Island and VCU and mix them together, a team like Wichita State, and, just being battle-tested throughout the conference of the A-10, playing against teams of that nature, I think it prepares us well for tomorrow night.
Okay. Right here.
For all the guys, and you too, Arch, what was your first memory as a kid of watching an NCAA tournament game and saying, well, I want to do that someday?
Kyle, we'll start with you.
To be honest, I don't have no memory. I really wasn't thinking about it. But when we first stepped on the campus, me, Scooch, and Kendall, our dream was to get to the NCAA tournament. And we did our freshman year, and look at us now 3 years later.
Charles?
I know for me, definitely. Always watching basketball, seeing some of the best college players come in and win games and do big things. So it's definitely a special moment, and it's a blessing to get here. So we're just trying to capitalize and do the best we can out here.
Scooch?
Just going through all these years, watching basketball my life, it's been a dream of mine just to play on this stage, and just to get here, I don't want to take it for granted. It's not one specific memory that I have, but these memories that I do have the past few years have been real good ones.
Kendall?
For me, I think I was watching a tournament game, Marquette. I used to follow Dwayne Wade when I was younger. So I think they went to the Final Four that year, and That's the only memory. That was my first memory of the NCAA tournament.
Coach?
There's a lot of memories. I've been watching it a lot longer than these guys have, but I think Duke, Kentucky with Leitner's last shot, I can remember the whole game, sitting there watching it at home. And, that type of environment, that type of feeling, you want to be a part of that.
Questions for the players right here?
Paul Salentrop with Wichita Eagle. Kyle and Scucci, if you could, Wichita State's three-point shooting, what kind of challenges does that present? Is there maybe a team that you played throughout the year that is kind of similar in that aspect?
Kyle?
We did a lot of scouting, and three-point is a challenge for us this game, but we didn't work hard on it all year and defended a lot of teams that had good three-point percentages, and we know what we have to do to get the job done.
Scoot?
I'm not sure if there's a team I can think of that reminds me of Wichita State in terms of three-point shooting, but I know if we do what we have to do, we'll be right there in the 10th ward to win the game.
Questions, please? Right here.
There's been a lot of talk about Wichita State seeding. Has that added a little bit of a chip to your guys' shoulder at all?
Kendall?
No, not at all. The seeding, it is what it is, and they're a good team. We're a good team, so we're just going to go out there and play. It don't matter about the seed.
Questions, please? Is that it? All right, one more? Okay, yep.
Dayton fans travel well. How aware are you guys of a crowd at either a away game or a neutral site when their Dayton fans are there?
Charles?
Definitely, when Dayton fans come to the game, you see nothing but red when you look around the stands, and Dayton fans really travel well. They give us a big boost at home. They give us a big boost on the road, neutral site. So it's a great thing to have Dayton fans at the game, whether you up or you down. It feel like a home game, and they definitely give you a boost. So I'm looking forward to see all the Dayton fans at the game for sure.
Kyle, you want to try that?
Flyer Faithful has always been there and been supporting us since day one, and always especially been there in the NCAA tournament. So I expect them to be out here full-fledged Dayton colors rooting us on.
Anything else for the? Thanks, fellas. We'll continue for Coach, right here.
Archie, one of the challenges of being an accomplished coach is that your name gets attached to some of the openings that are out there. I mean, Illinois is open, Indiana open today. How do you handle that, just the buzz and being attached to some of those things?
I'm not attached to any of it. I think everybody else attaches me to them. And I think it speaks volumes about how we do things at Dayton. And that's the only thing I concern myself with. Growing up as a player, you're taught to eliminate noise and distractions and bring your best to the floor every day, and sort of treat that with our players the same way. And it just wouldn't be right as a coach if you were thinking about anything other than them. And that's all I really concern myself with.
Over here.
Bob Lutz, Wichita Eagle. What challenges does Shaquille Morris present to your team?
A lot. He's a terrific player. And you look at his points and rebounds per minute played, I'm not sure there's a guy that's been more effective in his time on the court. And they're so deep that if he played on another team, he'd probably be getting close to 20 a game. Because they're so deep and they're so spread out with their minutes, he doesn't have the numbers, the gaudy numbers, but he would. He does a great job of obviously establishing himself with positioning. He's a great offensive rebounder, and he's in a system and a style with a terrific scheme around him where you just can't really load up and then try to put all your eggs in one basket. So he's going to present big challenges, as the rest of their players are. There's a reason they've won 30 games. He's a big reason why, and I think he'll be a big focal point of the game when he's in, because he's so efficient, so effective, and with our size, the way we've done things, they have the gift of a little bit in terms of being able to really work around him. So we're going to have to be, at the end of the day, we're going to have to be very tough-minded. We're going to have to be as disciplined as we can, and we're going to have to work very hard early in possessions to try and make sure that he doesn't get anything as easy as he would. But it's a difficult challenge. It's a difficult challenge for any team.
Next, please. Right here.
Tim Slack, KGSO Wichita. Coach, when you saw the draw, how much of the concern about Wichita State was their depth?
You know, their depth is as good as any team in the country, and it's evolved through the course of the season. I think they've done a really great job of changing things from November to December and then into January, and now I think they've figured it out, what rotations and lineups work best. But they have a lot of different guys that beat you. There's not one guy in the game that can't have a major impact in the game, whether they're scoring or rebounding or obviously defending the way that they do. So I think the overall depth, their ability to stay out of foul trouble, they don't really get bothered by those things. So it's a unique team to play against. You know, typically we're a team that gets fouled a lot. And, you know, being able to get teams in foul trouble is something that's important. They can sort of withstand a lot of that stuff, and they keep coming with very, very good players and bodies. So their depth is probably something that we haven't seen that type of team in the past, just in the ability to, you know, keep coming bodies at you. I think that's probably a little bit why they're so successful, is they really don't take the foot off the pedal. There's so many guys coming in and out at the same level. And that overall, over 40 minutes, is one of the reasons I think that they are so dominant, you know, in terms of being able to really extend leads late in games or take an 8-point game and then bang, it's at 20, is just because of the overall firepower that just keeps coming. So it's probably the most impressive trait of their team, is how they've been able to navigate that amount of bodies to be that effective over the course of the year.
Right here.
Paul Solentrop with the Wichita Eagle. Archie, have you talked to Sean about last year's Wichita State game in the NCAA tournament? Did he give you any advice? Or?
He doesn't have any advice, none. He didn't have any advice after that game. I watched the game, I think for a part of it anyway, and I haven't seen a team do that to one of Sean's teams maybe ever. I think that was the most impressive thing about it. But I've been following Wichita State as a head coach since I got the job. You know, I think in my second year, when we were really getting ready to get started and trying to get our feet on the ground, I believe that was their run to the Final Four. And I watched them go through, I believe, Gonzaga at the time, who was a 1 seed, beat Ohio State, if I'm not mistaken, in that Elite Eight to go to the Final Four. And they kind of motivated you. I mean, they motivated you to say to yourself, like, wow, you know, if those guys can be that tough, if they can play that hard, if they can have that type of culture, and something that you have to really rely on and say, if we could create something like that, you know, maybe we could get there. And I think, you know, I just told Coach Marshall when I saw him a couple minutes ago, I mean, kind of look at Wichita State as a program that gives a lot of places like ours the faith that they can play with anyone, they can beat anyone. And I think their game last year was great evidence against Arizona that they don't really care who they're playing. And we tried to be the same way. And, you know, I think being here for our 4th year, there's a reason why.
Right here.
Archie, you and Greg share a similar dilemma in that, you know, Power 5 schools aren't exactly excited to face you non-conference season. What's the solution to that, to make it easier for schools like yours, Wichita State, to get some of those opportunities in the non-conference season?
That's not easy. One, I would say that, you know, our home venue and their home venue, very similar places that there's no advantage in many ways for those schools to come and play us in home and homes, okay? I think, you know, secondly, I'm sure Coach Marshall and myself would also, we've started a lot of series on the road to go get those type of games. And whether you're in an exempt event like they were in the Bahamas, or we were in Anaheim this year, or Orlando together a year ago, you're trying to find ways to put yourselves, whether it be neutral situations where you can get them on one-shot deals or tournaments, or send yourself on the road a few times and maybe get one back in return. But it's difficult. It's difficult. And I think it's getting more difficult. And as the years go by here, within 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, it could become almost impossible because, you know, as power conference teams continue to do their leagues and look at their leagues, they're going to play 20 games in a conference season. And then the next thing you know, all Power Fives will be playing 20 games in a conference season. And if you're in the ACC and you're playing 20 regular season conference games and you're in an exempt event, you got a Big Ten Challenge game, where's that game coming from? You know, I think so. It's a unique challenge, and you know, I'm at a great place with a great administration, and we're on the front end of things, trying to be creative as we can. And I think you know, being able to be, you know, in situations where we play, you know, neutral site games or going on the road a couple times, maybe too many. It doesn't matter. You just have to be able to put yourself in those situations. But I mean, I think our leagues also are key to the future, and I think the Atlantic 10's done a really nice job of being a multiple team league bid over the time that we've been there, whether it's been 6-5, 4-3. So I don't think that will change as well. We still have opportunities within our league with good quality opponents as well. But scheduling, it's always hard. I think it continues to get even harder and harder, though.
Sure.
If you would you describe just how basketball was ingrained in you growing up in a basketball family?
Yeah, I mean, I've known nothing else. You know, I think, you know, Sean's 10 years older than me, so it wasn't like we have like this sibling rivalry type of thing. And being that he is 10 years older than me, you know, I was the tag-along for a long time. And being a tag-along at the age of 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11 years old, and you're able to watch halftime performances or All-American camps, you know, through him growing up. And then obviously when he went to college, you know, at that point in time, I was starting to get into middle school and junior high, and that's when basketball became bigger than life, you know, watching him play at Pitt, and then my dad being my high school coach all the way through and having an opportunity to play college basketball. You know, since I can remember, basketball has never been a part of the daily routine. And I guess that's, some guys are born into houses of doctors, lawyers, or whatever it may be. Our conversations were very simple. You know, it was about getting better. It was about competing. It was about learning how to be a great player. And all those conversations have probably turned us into coaches without us really realizing it. But it was a unique house to be a part of. And I think if you kind of look right now in 2017, look at some of the successes that we've had in post-playing career, you can really attribute a lot of that to growing up in the house that I was in.
Over here.
Scott Pask with the Wichita Eagle. Coach, with guys like Scoochie and Kyle and Kendall that have so much game experience under their belt, what does that do for you as a coach, just to have that luxury of guys that have that much experience?
Well, you don't panic as much in tough situations. You know, I think with comes those guys' experience, I think a lot of times what people attribute it to is the big wins and all that. But I don't think that I look at it as all the glory moments. You know, I've watched these guys grow up. I've watched them fight. Most of our best moments, we haven't been the prettiest of games, you know, and you're down with 30-some seconds to go, or you hit a buzzer shot at 8 seconds. I just remember all the plays that they were involved in throughout the course of the battle. You know, you watch a guy like Scooch and watch his maturation, how good he is at the end of games for us. You watch guys like Kyle and Kendall being a part of like an amazing run, being down with 4 to go. Those are the things I remember about those guys the most. And I think it gives you, as a coach, confidence that as you walk into that environment tomorrow, you hope it's not too big. But at the same time, you know, throughout the course of their career, if you just let it happen and keep going with them, they'll find ways to keep you right there. And we talked a lot about it last night. You know, there's a lot of people that they go back on those guys' careers or tenure together, and they think about some of the, you know, the tournament runs and all that stuff. But if you really start to show some of the clips of the games that they've been involved with, they have been really hard fought, ugly, find a way type of moments that they've had to come through. It hasn't been like all this, you know, Hollywood stuff. And I think, you know, as you look at them, you appreciate the fact that how much they've been through. You appreciate how much they've given of themselves in terms of their effort. But they really are about winning, too. And I think that's been the thing that I'll remember the most about them. But you feel confident, not that you ever feel good, but you feel confident at some point in time they're going to make something happen for you.
Right back here.
Coach Jim Lazarski with the Cincinnati Enquirer. I'm just curious, when the entire bracket came out, the draw came out for you, were you able to take a quick look at all of what John Brannon was able to do at Northern Kentucky? And I'm sure you know him a little bit from scouting Alabama years ago when he was on that staff, but just any thoughts on him or maybe what you've seen out of a first-year eligible program to get to this point?
Well, number one, John did a fantastic job this past season. Where he started at and where they're at right now is a credit to him and his staff and what they've been able to establish. Got to know John a little bit through our Alabama competing days when he was there, and then when he was named the head coach at Northern Kentucky, being right down the road, have stayed in communication with him pretty well. When he won the conference tournament, I texted him right after the game, just, congratulations, man, what an awesome opportunity. And but he's done a terrific job, and it's not easy to go to a place like Northern Kentucky right off the bat, especially in the Horizon, which is a very tough league. And they've taken advantage, sort of their draw. And you could tell even last year when they were playing that he had an identity about him. They had a system. They knew what they were doing. And I think this year just carried right over. But he did about as good of a job with a team this season as any coach in college basketball. And the fact that they're in the tournament right now, I think that speaks volumes.
Right here.
Hey, Coach. Jim Aiello with Indianapolis Star. I just read recently that you, before every game, you like to put a number 5 up in the top corner of the whiteboard there. And I was wondering if you could tell me why you do that and what that means to you.
Well, if you're in our locker room and you're a part of our program, you sort of can look each other in the eye and probably saw all of us at our worst moment, whether that would be looking at me as a player or looking at a player as a coach, or looking at a coach to a coach. Probably the worst moments that any of us have experienced together, we kind of saw the worst of one another. And I think that being here today, win or lose the game, for that room to be sitting here today after May 12th, in many cases, a lot of places wouldn't pick themselves back up. But I put that number up on the board for one reason. Steve was an interesting guy. And he had a big impact on a lot of people. And he's sort of in the locker room. He was the locker room. And in many ways, when you're going through scouting reports and you're preparing for games, you want to win, you want to lose. Every once in a while, if you just kind of just think back, take a deep step and say, wow, where were we? Imagine if that wouldn't have happened. Or nothing's really guaranteed if I leave this locker room right now. I don't know who's going to do what or what's going to happen. So you put it up there as a perspective of everybody kind of look up there, see it, and let's go out and have a good time. And, I hope that, I can write that number up there for a long time. But in particular, this group has been affected by it the most. And, you don't ever want to think about, you move on from something like that. But you do. But at the same time, I think you have to take a deep breath every once in a while and just say, hey, man, everything's okay right now. Things are good, regardless of how you feel, regardless if the game didn't go real well or it did go well. You just got to think it day to day, and you got to do things together. And that's the thing I'm probably most proud about this group is that it was a hard road to get up off the ground, and a lot harder than I ever anticipated for not just our players but our staff personally. And to be able to be here now, that's a good thing for a lot of people. It helped us. And, but Steve is a big impression on a lot of these guys. They won't forget him for the rest of their lives.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you, Archie.
Thank
See
you.
tomorrow.
Thank you.